Hello and welcome to Grillfest Underground. Today I'm joined by Adan Monreal, aka Princess Deathwish, producer of the Lucha Project, a beloved rising star in the pro wrestling community, and they are going to be providing pro wrestling entertainment at Grillfest this year and, God willing, forever in the future. Adan, thanks for joining.
Thanks for having me. Happy to be here. I will always jump at an opportunity to talk about myself for an hour or two.
What are you looking forward to most about Grillfest this year?
The food. It's always the food. I just love food. But I am very excited because the way it was last year, we didn't really get to enjoy ourselves because we had another gig that we had to get to. Whereas this year we get to actually enjoy the music, enjoy the food, and just be there and be present. And that's something that I miss a lot as a producer, as a performer. I don't get to be present in things. For example, I wrestled at Indiana Beach last year. I didn't get to ride any of the rides. I got there, wrestled, left, and it's one of those, like, that's what happens, that's what we do. So to be able to do something local with Grillfest, I get to actually enjoy myself besides just perform.
Yeah, last year getting you guys on Grillfest was kind of a last minute experience, but when the idea was broached, I was like, no brainer. Yeah. Meat, metal, live combat sports. But yeah, I loved it. It was super scrappy. You came in, set up a ring, and you were super interactive. You were jumping on the wall separating the street from the courtyard at Bambino's, jumping off that and like slamming into people.
Yeah, there's no limits as wrestlers when we start a match, especially at the Lucha Project. We thrive off chaos. We have a saying, if you don't come to us, we're going to come to you. Yeah. And so typically a match can spill out and go anywhere. And like, we went to Bambino's, there's a bunch of people eating brunch that have never ever heard of wrestling before. There's this festival going on. They started watching the match and we went all the way to them. And I'm not sure how the owner of Bambino felt, but we definitely, I was like, he could probably jump off that and land on me. And we went over there. I was like, all right, we're doing this in front of people who have never consumed an ounce of wrestling. Mm-hmm. And I think that's the best part, is shock therapy.
The success of last year is a big reason I wanted more of you guys this year. And I'm glad to hear that, hopefully you can hang out more, because what I'm hoping to do with Grillfest is this isn't just a festival, it's a family reunion. And that's very much in line with the original incarnation of Grillfest, which briefly put, it was basically a backyard food festival / music festival. Yeah. And it started out teeny tiny, and over the years, between 2009 and 2013, I believe it turned into kind of a beloved little family reunion for the underground music scene. And so over the years, people would say, when are you doing Grillfest again? When are you doing Grillfest again? Finally, last year decided to do it, but we tried to scale it up. But I really want to preserve that spirit as much as possible. And so if I could wave my magic wand, of course, this gets really big, and maybe we get like Blind Guardian or like Big Mastodon or something someday. But I would love it if the performers were also involved in the community level to the greatest extent possible, because I want it to be fun for you too. I want this to be something that the performers really want to come to Grillfest. So we're trying to build in perks for the entertainers, and I want to grow that over the years. And I would love it. I would love it if, people watch you guys beating the shit out of each other, and then 30 minutes later, they're sitting next to you at the table eating brisket.
Yeah, that's typically the environment we also survive in. We do a lot of events, and including our own events, where you have access to the wrestlers, especially at the merch table. We had Danhausen before he made his WWE debut, a month before he was there. Now, you have to pay hundreds of dollars for a meet and greet to meet Danhausen. A month before, he was just sitting at a merch table, and we got asked, like, is there a meet and greet for Danhausen? Is there a meet and greet for Danhausen? This was before he got signed. And we were just like, nah, he's just going to be at his merch table selling his merchandise. Now, 1 month later, he's in WWE and he's untouchable in merch sales. So for us, what we bring to a local level is access to the performers, access to the wrestlers, access to someone who might possibly be on TV the next month and will no longer be accessible to the public.
Yeah, I don't know how or if we can ever solve that problem, because last year, I won't name specifics, but we had a small budget.
Yeah.
This year, our revenue streams look bigger.
Yeah.
And, by like ×4. And so if we pull off this year, then, we can keep scaling, and we already have interest from bigger bands. Yeah. So, if this grows the way that I hope and think it can, I wonder if in like 3 or 4 years, we're getting actual big, medium, large bands, and how or if can we still have family reunion atmosphere with Blind Guardian or Symphony X or something like that, because when I was at Epic Fest last year, a metal festival in Denmark, all of the bands were in a hotel, and it was surreal because I was like, oh man, Fabio Leone is eating waffles like 20 feet from me. And I'm a performer too, but I need to be like, okay, calm down, be chill. But for, the public can be crazy sometimes. So I get it from their angle. It's like, I don't want to be around super fans. I don't know how to solve that problem yet.
I think this is something we, as professional wrestlers, deal with, because when someone gets fired from WWE, or someone's about to get signed, it's that same level of, we're in the same locker room as this person. It's not that anyone told me, it's that I think we all knew that this person was about to go on national television and get signed. It was a heavy rumor, but it's like the worst kept secret. It's like we all knew. But a lot of us were like, yeah, he's in the same room with us. And it's that battle and balance of being a fan and being professional. And I think there's this absence of being a fan because you're overcompensating for being professional, and you miss out on a memory or a photo that you could have had. I'm very encouraging on go ask for a photo. Go ask for a photo from someone at that level. We're facing that issue in general because now we've worked with Lil Jon, we've worked with Dropkick Murphys, we've worked with Valentino Khan. Those are big names in their subculture. But yet we remain grounded and we remain community accessible. We did a kid's birthday party. Like, for us, it's staying grounded and keeping in touch with the community that has created our base from all these subcultures, and making sure that they know they still have the Lucha Project, even if we continue to grow and continue to go viral and continue to travel across the country. It's a balancing act, but it's one that I think is worth it.
You mentioned something that a thread that I want to tug on a little bit more. You mentioned playing a kid's birthday party, which is funny and cool and awesome. But also, for those who don't know, the Lucha Project is very versatile. They do wrestling shows, but they also do events like Grillfest. They do kids' birthday parties. And before we were rolling, we were talking about how it is so neat that with so many of the events that they put on, you're not just getting wrestling. You're getting wrestling plus bands, or wrestling plus burlesque show. Could be comedian, could be a magic show, who knows? So what I'm curious is this. I had a similar idea for Grillfest, which is that it's not just a music festival, it's a food festival meets a music festival meets live combat sports. And so I wonder if there's just something in the water or in the culture, so to speak, that is like rewarding exploration into this space, or if I'm totally ignorant and this has been going on for a long time. But where did you get the drive or inspiration to pursue these sort of mixed entertainment events?
I was wrestling for a long time. I'd worked for a promotion in Washington, and we did a similar. It was just a festival that had Drowning Pool headlining, and we would do the match, and then the band would go on, and that's kind of where the seed started. It wasn't something like, oh, I want to run shows like this, but it definitely was the inception of it. The seed was planted. I got to be on stage with Drowning Pool, and that was one of the coolest things because Drowning Pool means so much to professional wrestling. Bodies was the anthem for professional wrestling for such a long time. So being able to be on stage as a fan in me with them singing that was the start. Then I started doing more as these other promotions started doing it. I did one in San Diego. I did a few in Portland, Metal Mania. I love them. And I wanted it at home. I'm older now. I wanted to be at home more, but I also wanted to have these shows, the grunge, the atmosphere, the live music, underground feeling. I was like, we need this in Utah. And so I started with just a regular show. Funny enough, we had a trial show for a Boy Scout fundraiser. Then we did our first official show was like a birthday bash. And then 3 months later, we finally got some hardcore bands. And that we were able to recreate this feeling of grunge and atmosphere, and just we wanted to have a good time. And from there, I just did pro wrestling. I've done burlesque shows before. I've wanted to do rave shows before. Like, I'm going to just start exploring. So I did. Anytime an opportunity presented itself, I would email someone. I would contact someone. There's an anime convention in town. Hey, do you want professional wrestling? Believe it or not, there's a lot of connections between anime and pro wrestling. Hey, music festival, we want in. We think this would be a good fit. We're hitting each other. What's more metal than that? Raves, I contacted Black Void via text. I was like, hey, I would like to wrestle during a rave. I have a ring, I have the resources, let's do it. It took them like a year to get back to me, but we finally did a wrestle rave. And it's this exploration of art form. And I have my own theory on it. I think we as a society have all in our own subcultures moved forward from the gatekeeping days. Because every subculture, whether it be metal, whether it be us, whether it be raves or burlesque, everyone has like their own structure and scene, and people can be gatekeeping. Human beings naturally are gatekeeping their own subculture. So when people start working together and leaking into each other's art forms, you start seeing something. You start seeing people being interested in the combination of both things, in the combination of worlds, and that's where an audience grows. That's what I've been seeing. So it's really cool to be a part of that on our end, to be helping in mixing it. I'm by far not the only one, not at all, but I am very happy that we've been able to do what we've done in these subcultures, and it's created our own community. It's created our own base of people that we've brought along from different walks of life and different fandoms. It's been pretty amazing to see.
There's an interesting tension, I think, between gatekeeping and being accessible. Mm-hmm. Because on the one hand,